It's Sunday night, and you already feel it. That heavy sinking, tomorrow is Monday feeling. Millions of people feel this exact same dread every single week. There's even a popular nickname for it, the Sunday scares. But here's a strange thought. Ancient people never felt this, not even once. Why ancient people never had a Monday? Let's be honest about what Monday actually feels like. It's not really about the day itself. It's about losing your freedom for 5 straight days. Same alarm, same commute. Same inbox waiting to ruin your morning. Psychologists even have a name for the dread that builds the night before. They call it anticipatory anxiety, your brain bracing for something unpleasant before it even happens. And the sharper the contrast with your weekend, the worse Monday feels. Which raises an obvious question. What did ancient people's work week even look like? No offices, no inboxes, no fixed schedule at all. Hunting happened when animals were around, not on a set day. Gathering happened when plants were ripe, not on a calendar. If a hunt succeeded, the whole group might rest for days afterward. If weather was bad, nobody worked at all, there was no calling in sick. Work and rest weren't separate categories, they blended into each other. A typical day might mean a short hunt in the morning, then hours of rest, storytelling or tool-making. Children learned skills by watching, not by sitting through 8-hour school days. There was no concept of going to work, because there was no separate work to go to. Everything just happened together as part of daily life. So how much did ancient people actually work in hours? Anthropologists have actually studied this in real surviving hunter-gatherer groups. Researcher Richard Lee studied the Kung, people of the Kalahari Desert. Decades later, anthropologist James Sussman studied the closely related Jew/Hontsi. Both found something wild. People spent around 15 hours a week getting food. That's it, 15 hours. Add chores like cooking and fetching firewood, and it's still only 30 to 35 hours total. Compare that to a 40-hour work week, plus a commute, plus zero flexibility. Anthropologist Marshall Salins called this idea the original affluent society. Not affluent because they had more stuff. Affluent because they wanted less and got it fast. Economist John Maynard Keynes even predicted, back in the 1930s, that by now, we'd all be working just 15 hours a week too. He was wrong, painfully wrong. Now, to be fair, this isn't the whole story. Some researchers push back on this idea hard. They point out ancient life also meant real danger. Higher infant mortality, disease, conflict between groups. So it wasn't some perfect, stress-free paradise either. But the workload number itself checks out across multiple studies. So if ancient humans weren't grinding 5 days a week, where did Monday, as we dread it, actually come from? The 7-day week itself comes from ancient Babylon. They named the first 2 days after the sun and the moon. Sunday, Moon Day. Literally where the word Monday comes from. The Romans picked up the same 7-day system later. But here's the key part, none of this involved a forced 5-day workweek. That part came way, way later. Fast forward to the 1700s and 1800s, during the Industrial Revolution. Factory workers were now grinding 6 days a week, long, brutal shifts. And something interesting happened almost immediately. Workers in England started secretly skipping Mondays entirely. Historians actually have a name for this, Saint Monday. People stretched their Sunday break by just not showing up. Often nursing a hangover from the night before. Some factory owners tried fining workers for missing Mondays. It barely worked. So even 200 years ago, humans were already quietly rejecting Monday. Eventually, employers noticed something. Tired, resentful workers were actually less productive. So in 1926, Ford Motor Company tried something radical. A 5-day, 40-hour work week, with 2 full days off. It worked so well that other companies copied it fast. By 1938, it became US law under the Fair Labor Standards Act. Which means the modern weekday versus weekend split is barely 100 years old. Here's the strange part, even people who work from home today still feel Monday dread. There's no commute, no office, sometimes barely a dress code. But the feeling shows up anyway. That's because it's not really about the workplace anymore. It's about a rhythm we've all been trained into since childhood, school weeks, then work weeks non-stop. 100 years of repetition turned a man-made schedule into something that feels almost biological. Other countries tried to escape the 7-day rhythm entirely. After the French Revolution, France tried a 10-day week instead. Each 10-day cycle had only one rest day instead of 2. Workers got even less time off, not more. It didn't last, people hated it, Napoleon scrapped it. The Soviet Union tried something even stranger in 1929. A 5-day week, where everyone got a different colored day off. Your day off could be totally different from your spouse's. Families stopped seeing each other, productivity didn't even improve. They quietly went back to a normal week a few years later. So here's the actual twist in all of this. Monday dread isn't some deep, ancient survival instinct. It's barely older than your great-great-grandparents. Ancient people didn't avoid Monday. They just never invented a reason to dread one specific day in the first place. Their work week bent around the weather, the season, and how hungry they actually were. Ours bends around a calendar built for factory shifts a century ago. Worth thinking about next time Sunday night rolls around. If this changed how you see your Monday, even a little, hit subscribe for more weird, true history explained with doodles.